Page 148, Singing in the Rain. It'll be interesting to see what I say here as compared to what I said before, huh? See if I'm presenting it the same stuff or not. I'm going to start out talking about the right hand here. Put a little bit of organization in it. Look at the first line, the very first measure. Look at the fingering. You're starting out with fifth finger, and it's the fourth finger on the B. Okay? Third measure in the first line, you have a 1, 2, and then a 1. At the bottom of the page there is a note. And we're going to do this in a swing style. That is, we're going to play all the eighth notes in a long short fashion. So if the first line here is written this way, but we're going to play it this way. That's a swing style, right? Or blues or jazz. So when I demonstrate this, that's how I'm going to do it. Third measure, first line, you're playing the half note G with a 2, but then when you do the eighth note, you can do a 1. Okay? Second line, first measure, you're playing the half note G with a 4. I suggest you substitute the first finger. And you're going to get this passage a lot, and I suggest you do it the same way every time. So the pickup, the 2 eighth notes leading into this measure from the previous measure, you go, just immediately put your fourth finger or first finger on it. In the music, it would be a 4-1, meaning play it with the fourth and then put the first on it. That way you're in position for the rest of the stuff. Because you can't very well go from a 4 to a 2 and it's all connected and there's no pedal. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, no. Third measure of the second line, D, and the next one is that B. Remember the 4, use fourth finger on the B. So it's 4, 3 on the eighth, on the last 2 notes. Now you're using the thumb in that last measure for both notes, but it works in this piece because it's between phrases, and this forces you to get off of it and give us a little silence between the phrases. So that's actually very nice. Third line, first measure, you're starting with a D, and again you have that B again, fourth finger. Remember, do it the same way every time. Third measure over is the D again, and then the B, fourth finger. Last line, page 148, same thing, a D, and then use fourth finger on the B. You can use fifth finger on the B in the second measure because you're off of it. First measure, page 149, you play the half note with the fourth finger, substitute the first finger. It's the same as we did before. 2 measures later, exactly the same thing. You play in the G with the fourth finger, then put the first finger on it so you can go on. Second line, first measure, same thing. In the second line, third measure, fourth finger on the B. In the third line, first measure, fourth finger on the B. Now in the second measure, on those 2 eighth note Ds, I recommend a 2-1 rather than 2-1 on the Ds. And then the third measure again, fourth finger on the B. Now in the last line, if your hands are small, you're pretty much stuck with playing those 2 Ds with the little finger. Be careful when you do. Use a wrist action. It's like a staccato, but they're not staccatos. Use your wrist to do it. Don't use the finger to do it. But it would be better if your hand's big enough to do a 5-4. And then in the second measure, use a 3-2 on the 2 F sharps. And that's the right hand. Piece of cake, right? Left hand's pretty simple. You just got these chords. I'm rolling here. I'm not trying to finger it. I'm just transferring the weight from one finger to another. I'm exaggerating it for you, but the idea is that it's a very small motion, but that's the idea. And that's really about all I have to say for the left hand. The left hand's pretty straightforward. The only pedaling is at the end, there at the bottom of page 149. Push the pedal down if you're going to use it right after you play the notes. Lift the pedal up when you play the C sharp in the left hand. Okay. For this video, I'm not going to use the pedal. I'm going to leave it out. That's the little bit they're going to use it. You don't even need it at all, as far as I'm concerned. This is a happy song. This is a light song. Don't pedal this song. All right? That would make it heavy. It would make it blah. All right? It's got to be light. It's just a real happy song. Tricky part might be the rhythm in the right hand, because it's changing quite a bit. Look at just as an example, look at the last two lines of page 148, okay, in the right hand, starting out with a half note, and then 2/8 notes. The first one's tied, and so the second one is coming on the end of 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Well, look at 2 measures later. It's a half note. Then the first one comes on 3, 3, and then the 8th note comes on the end of 4. Different rhythm. Then on the next line, it's back to the half note with a tied 8th note, and then the other 8th note comes on the end of 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. So the rhythm changes on these, so be careful. Also at the very end of the piece, at the bottom of page 144, those are staccatos. The right hand has a staccato on it, even though it's tied, so it matches the left hand staccato, so both hands come up at the same time. So the last note, the last measure there is here, and they come up together. You use a finger staccato on that is fine. Don't accent it. That's a tendency people will do, is just just it's a staccato. Just play it lightly. 4/4 time I'll give us 4 counts. Let's play it together slowly. So the right hand starts here. Left hand here. I'm not going to use pedal. If you're going to use pedal, then put your foot on the pedal so you're ready to go. 1, 2, ready, go. Three.